So in today's Go High Level tutorial, we're going to show you a complete walkthrough of how to do a purchase automation and workflow from start to finish. So stay tuned and build along with us. So hopefully you've been following us along as we've been building different things inside of Gohighlevel, and we've actually been doing pretty much every single component of Gohighlevel from start to finish in a lot of our series. So if you haven't gotten a chance to kind of catch up, we've made, I think we're up to 8 parts now. Make sure to check in the playlist so you can kind of binge watch and kind of get a whole feel of the system. We go pretty in depth, and today we're going to go into a workflow. We kind of went over like the basics in the last automation build that we did, and if you haven't seen it, check out the playlist right up here. You'll be able to see and just kind of follow through and just kind of watch the videos to kind of catch up to where we are now. But today what we're going to do is really create a purchase automation because what you want to do, whether you're selling a service or product, is really have the process automated so you can kind of really just sit back and let the automations do all the work for you. So first and foremost, if you've been following along, we kind of want to track what's going on with the purchases. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to the left-hand side and we're going to go to our opportunities. Inside of our opportunities, what we're going to do is we're going to go to pipelines up here and we're going to create a new pipeline. Now, every product should have its own pipeline so you can kind of follow the journey along because it just makes it a little bit easier, especially as you're kind of building it out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to name this whatever my product would be. Make believe I'm selling an email deliverability course or an email deliverability service. I want to track when actually somebody makes a payment, misses a payment, all the way through to when they've been onboarded into the course or into my service or set up a time in my calendar. So what I want to do is really create a flow. So for this situation, we're going to do it as somebody's actually buying a course. So this is going to be my email deliverability course. All right. And I'm going to just type that on in and I'm going to kind of name it there. This is going to name the pipeline. Now, if I really want to be fancy, I can put a little emoji. It's actually one of my favorite things that I've been doing as of late. Is this kind of helps the pipeline. I'll make it a little bit more fun and you can find something that is suitable. Again, just makes it a little bit easier to kind of see where everything is. Here's perfect. Here's a quick little envelope. I love it. And we're going to do this one right here. And I'm just going to make a little space. And in here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say abandon cart, right? Because the first thing you always want to do is track whether or not somebody started the purchase but didn't finish. And we're going to go over how to do that. All right. Abandon cart. Then this one is going to be purchased. I make believe purchase main product. Oh. This one's going to be like a little bit of an order bump. I might have an order bump for it. Okay. And then this last one is going to be, we're just going to say whether or not I've had to do a refund just in case, somebody didn't wasn't happy with it. I want to make sure that they, get whatever they need. This is going to be just a very basic. I just want to track these things as we go through. I'm going to go ahead and hit save. Now that that's saved, it takes a little minute to kind of load up. Now I can actually start my automations, right? So I'm going to come over here to my automations. Actually, before I even start my automations, I need the products. So let me go do that first. So I'm going to go to payments. I'm going to go to my products. And in here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create over here. And what I'm going to do is just basically create a simple product. So this is going to be my email deliverability course. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to enter a price. The price is going to be a regular price. You know what? It's not going to be a service. It's going to be a digital good. If I wanted to put a little product description, I am. So email deliverability, make it super easy. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to enter a price. This is going to be, it's going to be 97. Actually, we'll make it cheap. We'll make it 47 one time. Okay. And then we're just going to do $47. I don't have an image per se, but that's good. The order bump is going to be a little checklist. So for here, I'm going to create a separate product. I'm going to be order bump checklist. Okay. It's going to again be a digital good. And then it's going to be 17 bucks one time. Make it nicer. Okay. Because the product is what's going to trigger the automation. And that's what we need to have in one place. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and create product. Awesome. I got my order bump checklist. I got my email. Actually, can't change the name once it's created. So we'll create it on this site. Now, I don't have a site per se. I have some email deliverability, quizzes and audits, but if I was going to make a course, I would probably just pump it into here. And then I already have the avoid the spam box. That's kind of fun little thing that I've been working on. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to basically just create a little bit of an order form page, just kind of walk you through the process. So I'm going to clone this funnel step. I'm going to make a funnel, but think about what I just did right there. I created a pipeline so I can track what I needed to do. I ensure that I have to have the product in order to sell it. And then I'm going to need a page that hosts the product or at least the order form because that's what's going to trigger a lot of the automations when it comes to a purchase. So think about that, right? Person goes into your website or some kind of page, whether they're buying a service or whether they're buying a product, you're going to want to make sure you have an order form inside that. Now, when you're creating this particular order form, I just cloned the page that I already had. I'm going to go to publishing, and this is going to be the ultimate email deliverability course. Okay, come over here. We're going to just list this as a course. Oop, no capitals. I'm going to update the step. And then once I have the page kind of here, I'm going to go to products. I'm going to add my 2 products. My first product is going to be this email course. I'm $47 one time, as you can see. The product name, I'm just going to say Ultimate Email Deliverability. Notice I haven't even focused on the page yet because I'm not really going into the design on this one. I just want to make sure I have the core essentials, which is the product, the page, and then more importantly, the automations that go along with it. And this is going to be the order bump. This is going to be the checklist, $70 one time. And this is going to be the Ultimate Email Deliverability. Obviously not a great order bump, but we can always work on that later on, right? So boom. And then the one thing I want to make sure I do in this checklist is make it an order bump. So this is going to be, oh, not the main product, the order bump, and it took it out. Okay, beautiful. And now I have it as a bump product. Now I'm just going to go in the course, go right here, and then just replace because this is just like a lead magnet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and edit the page, remove the actual sign up for the lead magnet, which is to here, and just replace that with a 1-step order form, right? And we'll make it a short 1-step order form. Come over here, hit the little plus sign, go to order forms all the way at the bottom. Whoa, super big, like I mentioned before. Go to advanced. I'm gonna hide. And again, all of this is covered in our previous videos. So this should be nothing that is overwhelmingly new. And it probably, like I said, I probably would do this a little bit differently, but the whole point of it is I just want to have the form. And more importantly, I want to make sure I have my bump product. I don't want cart mode. I don't want product description. I do want to order the order bump. And the product was 17 one time. Headline is going to be ultimate. You can add an, you can go ahead and add like, money and whatever else. It doesn't matter. The point of it is I just want to have this all ready to go. So then I can go back and edit it and see here it is right there. Again, don't need to make it pretty right now. We can always focus on that a little bit later. I just want to make it functional. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save. So I have my pipeline, I have my order form, I have my products, and I have a page that I can work the automations off of. Okay, so now that that's all done, that's kind of the preliminary things I need, and I kind of did it very quickly, just so then we can have something ready to go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the left-hand side, I'm going to go to automations, and now I can start my process. Now, as everybody's been following along, and if you followed my previous videos, I like to number everything. It makes things a lot easier to track. So in this particular case, I already have a folder called email deliverability, but I'm going to create a new folder called number 5, email deliverability course. All right, boom. Now that I've created that folder, again, to keep things incredibly organized, I'm going to do my first automations. Now, the way I build automations is I usually, since I created the pipeline, that's what I follow. Now, if I go over to my opportunities, I'm going to right click, I'm going to open in a new tab. And in this new tab, I'm going to go right to the pipelines. Now, notice how I build my pipelines, right? So if I drop down over here and I go to my email deliverability course, I did abandoned cart, purchase the main product, order bump, and then refund, right? So what I'm going to do is those automations, because that's what's really gonna kind of like set the pace and of what I'm trying to do. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to hit create workflow. I'm going to start from scratch. Remember, this is completely from scratch. You want to make sure you have the full experience. And the first thing I'm going to do is abandon cart. Now, I've been making a habit of, if it's the email deliverability course, I want to use lettering in the beginning of the numbering system to ensure that it makes it easier to find. So what I'm going to do is email deliverability. So we'll just say email EM, makes it easy, 1 dot, and again, it doesn't matter. And this is going to be my abandoned cart. Now, I'm doing the abandoned cart first because it is the first part that if somebody goes in and they don't purchase, they'll be stuck in number 1. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to order form submission, right? And the way you do it when when it comes to this particular kind of purchase, again, it could be a first service. It doesn't really honestly matter. The service difference would be, instead of giving them a deliverability of a course, what you're going to do is you're going to give them probably access to a calendar for them to book your service or your onboarding call and so forth and so on. So what I'm going to come over here is I'm going to do the order form. I'm going to go to funnel first because I got to find the funnel that I want. I know that it's in my email funnel. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to go to the pages. It's going to be the course page, right? Because we just built it out. Email checklist. Thank you. Ultimate course. Beautiful. And when it comes to the actual abandoned cart, the submission type is going to be opt-in, because think about it. It's when you're first putting the information, and actually I just made a serious mistake. The opt-in can only go on a two-step order form, so we have to go back in and correct this right away. So if I go back into my email course right here, the order form that I had in here has to actually be switched to a two-step, because the only time you can have an abandoned cart is on a two-step order form. So glad that I actually made this mistake, so it'll prevent you guys from making the same. So I'm going to come over here, go back all the way down, and we're going to go to our two-step order form, because a two-step order form, as you lot, allows you to opt in first, then go to your actual thing. So let's go ahead and make that same correction. So we're going to hide the company because we're not going to ship anything. All right, makes that super small, and I don't need anybody's phone number. Actually, we'll leave the phone number for now, and we can actually definitely hide company name. So see, great that I caught that mistake, completely forgot, and there you go. So now we have it here. Same thing like before, we got to enable the order bump. So we are going to go to advanced. We're going to enable the order bump, add the order bump. Come over here, $17 one time. This is our email deliverability checklist. All right, hit save, and we're rocking and rolling. Okay, so now that we have this, again, I'm not going to really worry about aesthetics. I just need this more for practicality. And since I've made the change here, I actually have to save and refresh, because it's not going to pick up the things I need. Because anytime you update something inside any part of the system, you got to come back to the workflow. You got to actually refresh the workflow. So here's your order form submission. Again, this doesn't change because I didn't change the page, and I didn't change that the submission type is going to be opt-in, but I'm ready to go. Now, when we go ahead and do the abandoned cart, the first thing I always like to do is assign a user. The reason I assign a user, and if you've been following along with all the other videos, is because I have a signature attached that has an unsubscribe link. It also has all my information that I need for can spam laws, like, my name, my email, my address, and so forth, along with an unsubscribe link. So I have that all ready to go in an assigned user, and it allows me to pull that value directly in. The second thing I want to do is wait an hour. Why am I waiting an hour? Well, if a person takes longer than an hour to complete the purchase, then I know it's going to probably be an abandoned cart. So it's a time delay wait. It's only for an hour. And notice all I did was come in here, hit the little plus sign. All of these are going to be actions. The first action is somebody goes in, puts the first part of the information, it automatically activates this trigger. I assign it to user, which is going to be myself. All right. And then I put a little bit of a wait for 1 hour. Then from that point is I'm going to update that opportunity that I talked about. So create opportunity, and I'm going to drop down to the pipeline that I need. Here's the email deliverability course. That's going to be an abandoned cart. And these little tags are pushing in custom values. So the custom values I'm really looking for is the customer's full name, because at this point in time, if they did part 1 but not part 2, meaning that we actually put the credit card information, I have everything that I need from them, which means their name, their email, and more importantly, their phone number. I'm going to allow to move from different previous stages, just in case it was in abandoned cart and I needed to move somewhere else. I can do that, right? So that's all said and done. And now I'm going to create my first email, right? Send an email. Because I use assign to user, I can pull in user full name, which is me, and then user email. Pretty cool, right? And then from here, the typical, I think you forgot something, or oops, email, which is, hey, what's going on? Obviously, you can write way better copy than this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste this pre-made email, which is just basically, hey, contact first name. This is user first name. And again, I can use that user first name because I assigned a user right at the beginning. It looks like you didn't quite finish checking out your order. Custom values product name number 1, because I've already created custom values in the backend that I'm going to show you how to do. And then I would create a link to the order form page. So you're like, well, I don't have any of this done. So let's go ahead and do that, right? So I'm going to come over here. Notice that I've updated it first and I saved. And I'm going to go back to my workflow, and I'm going to go to sites. I'm going to grab my email course right here, go to that course, grab this right here, copy it, go all the way down to my settings, go to my custom values, come over here, and I can now book a new custom value that is email deliverability course, and enter the value, boom, and it's now I have a value. Now, if I wanted to name a particular product value, right? So I have some custom values that I did where I named products. So if my product number 1 is going to be that, then I'm able to do that one. Or, to make it super easy, so then I don't have to keep writing this abandoned cart email. So what I'll do is, let's do instead of saying product and number one, I'm actually going to write it in to make it super easier for this example, right? So let's go back to our automation, and I'm going to show you how to pull in the custom value. Go back to my email deliverability course folder, and then here we go. So it says you didn't quite finish your order for the ultimate email deliverability. Click here to finish your order. Now, what I can do is I can pull in the custom values right down here. Again, custom values here. Go all the way down to custom values. Go to my email deliverability course. Grab that custom value. This is so cool. Watch this. Because I created that custom value, right? I can click in that link and then boom, put it right here. So now I have a fancy link that goes in. I have it right here again. And now I have that custom value with that link in there, and I don't need to do anything else. So as you can see, I got already like the whole entire email and my user signatures at the bottom. Perfect, great sign off. And then I'm set to go. So you can get even fancier than this. After they finish the abandoned cart, if they still don't buy after an hour, you can add additional emails. But for the sake of simplicity, we're just going to kind of keep moving on. So once I'm done here, the one thing that I always like to do is make sure that I allow mark as read, because what happens is in this particular system, if you don't do this, what will happen is somebody will go back in and you'll just see a bunch of open conversations. It's a big pain in the butt. So I recommend just putting this on. It makes it a whole lot easier. Now you can always put your from name and your from email directly here. Don't recommend using username and user email, but if you just wanted to put your name and your email, you can totally do that here. So then you don't have to use that user signature. I don't care either way. Makes it super easy this way, but I'm good to go. So this is all good. I'm going to go back to actions. Everything looks great. And then I'm going to go ahead and move over. Now, if you want to be overly specific and you want to put wait 1 hour and then go back and name all your workflows, and this is AC, you know what I'm saying, for abandoned cart and email number 1, you can go back and rename this. In order form, you can just say, you know, when you name it, come over here, email deliverability, opt in. So now you got everything named, makes it super easy for you to find out what's doing what. All right, so we're all set. We're gonna go ahead and publish. This thing is ready to rock and roll. That's the first part. Now remember, for following our pipeline, right? Let's go back to our pipeline. So remember, I have another tab open. That's all I'm doing when I click up there, is I'm gonna go over to opportunities. I'm gonna go over to pipelines. Oop, it was already there. Let's go back to our opportunities. Here's our email deliverability. I have my purchase my main product. Now, I'm gonna come over here. Now that I got number 1, I'm gonna create number 2. So I'm using the tag of EM, right? So what I'm going to do is go EM number 2, and this is going to be email deliverability course purchase. Now, naming is really important. You're going to see a lot of people that are teaching Gohighlevel. It's like one of the things that if you don't do right, it just becomes a real hindrance later on. We're going to do order form submission. Now, we can do order form or we can do order submitted. Now, the difference between these two is when you do order form submission, it's very specific to that particular funnel. When you do order submitted, it means anytime somebody purchases product anywhere. In this particular case, just to kind of use one of the newer features, I'm going to go ahead and hit order submitted, because if I decide to sell this as a different course somewhere else or in a different funnel, not that I would, I can just use this. So it makes it super easy. Order submitted. It's going to ask me, okay, well, what global product? And mine is going to be is email course. All right, because we know that that's the product. So now I can come over here. I'll just say global. So then global email course, because I know that if I put this product anywhere on any funnel page, this automation will trigger and fire. So it's important because it just eliminates you having to do it for every single page, especially if you're planning on putting it as like an upsell somewhere else. This makes it a whole lot easier for you to sell that product and not create all these crazy automations, especially if it's going to just send the email and go to the opportunity that somebody's bought the course. Now, if you want a very specific, you would do the order form purchase. And let me just show you how that would work. You would come over here, order form submission. And this time you're going to do funnel page product, right? It's the best way to think about it. Funnel is going to be the email quiz. There we go. And then it's going to be page is, okay? And then the product, I always go to email deliverability course, especially if you're going to have like an order bump. And then some people put sale. You don't really need to do it, but it doesn't kill it for you to do it this way. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and save trigger. Doesn't really matter which one you use. This is going to be, you can't use both, because if you use both, it's going to error out, right? So for instance, I'll just use this order form submission. I'll just say funnel page. All right. Just not to confuse it, but I'll come over here and I'll delete the other one. I just wanted to show you both and kind of give you a different comparison. Now, the first thing I got to do, which is super important, is remember, I created the abandoned cart, and that thing is going to fire off at an hour. So if somebody purchases, the first thing I want to do is remove from the workflow that they were in. So I'm going to come over here, remove from workflow, another workflow. And remember how I said email naming is important? Now, all I got to do is do EM1, boom, see, and now it comes up. This is why naming is super important. And I want to make sure I also tag this, right? Remove abandoned cart, just abandoned cart AC. Go ahead and hit save. I want to update my opportunity that I created, right? So I'm going to come over here, create an updated opportunity. I'm going to go to my email deliverability course. I'm going to come over here to purchase main product, the person's contact name and phone, allow. And again, the way I push this, little tag that looks like a price tag, contact, full name. All right. And then if I wanted to add the phone number, I put like a little dash, contact, or email, whatever you want to do, right? Make it super easy, allow. And if I have a value for this particular, now that I've closed it, I want to do $47. And the fact that it is now a purchase, it is a one purchase. So I want to make sure I select it as one, and I'm going to go ahead and hit save. All right. And this is going to be one purchased, so I can keep track of what's going on. Okay. Now what's crazy is you definitely want to do like a little bit of a product fulfillment. Hey, welcome to the course, yada, yada, yada. Now, remember, if I want to use the values of assign user, I got to assign a user. So right after that, remove, let's go ahead and assign a user here. Boom, I'm going to give myself. And now I have myself as there. Now I'm going to come over here. I'm going to do a send email. The from name is going to be from user, full name, which is me. Remember, user is always you. Contact is always the customer. So user, email, and then over here, you know, I'm just going to do like a basic. All right. So welcome to the best email course on the planet. Oh, pretty ambitious claim, but who knows? It might actually be true. And then we would just basically I'm just going to copy some jargon. We would say, hey, congratulations, fill out this, do that, whatever you needed to do. Again, makes it super easier. I'm going to start it with the person's name. I'm going to start it with that. Now, if it's a course, the most important, and we can just say this email is going to be intro or next steps. Go ahead and hit save action. As you can see, that is also set there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here, and right after I do this, I want to make sure if it's a membership course, I'm going to deliver the offer. Now, for this particular thing, I don't have an actual course. So I'll just for doing this now, we would do membership grants offer, and I would select one of my courses, right? For instance, I'll just do my free course here, and then all of that will be set, and now it gives them access to the course. Now you can go crazy. You can do like right after maybe the first day, maybe you want to wait a day. All right, we'll do like wait 1 day. Did you log in? Did you log in and get your course? So I would create another email, come over here, send email. Oh, that's an SMS, which would be cool too. I mean, if you wanted to send a text message, that would be cool, but we actually want to make it super easy. Send an email. It would be, hey, from username, right? Full name, from email, which would be my email again. Checking in. Were you able to get in? We'll just say, were you able to get into the course and get started? Question mark. All right, and just kind of user first name. All right, super in. Again, I would call this like the check-in email, and you can keep going and going, especially if your course or your service requires that. So this makes it super easy for you to follow. Now, this one looks done. Again, we're going to go to settings, and we're going to always put on mark as read. We're going to hit save. We're going to hit publish. Now we're ready to rock and roll. So let's think about what just happened. You got your abandoned cart, right? People are going in. They're all going in. Anybody that's buying the product is automatically going into the abandoned cart. Then we created the actual fulfillment. When somebody actually fulfills on the product, we want to ensure that they get whatever they need to do. So we came over here, and what we're going to do is we're going to go in, and we're basically going to remove them from the abandoned cart and then send the fulfillment email for when they actually make a purchase. So that part is done. Now we have that, we have this. If we go back to our pipeline, we're still missing the order bump, right? So I'm going to come over here. I can actually duplicate this one right here to make it super easy, because you got to understand, like whatever you can make it easy, go ahead and make it easy. And I'm going to hit duplicate workflow. I'm going to call it E3. And then this is going to be email course order bump. And an order bump for you, for anybody that's watching, an order bump is just like a little add-on. So if you like, for instance, if you were going to like a McDonald's, you would go into the McDonald's, you order your fries. An order bump is the soda, meaning the additional item you buy that goes along with your hamburger, and the fries. And for all of you that have been following any kind of marketing anywhere, it's really pretty interesting because that's actually what adds the most value to the cart. So McDonald's, Burger King, all these other places don't make the money on the hamburger. They make the money on the additional things that they sell along with the hamburger. So an order bump follows the same concept. It's like, here's your main course, or here's your, your actual email deliverability course in my example here. And then the order bump would be like a checklist for an additional 17. So if it's $47 for the course, it's $17 for the actual order bump. So it makes it really, really easy. So I'm going to come in here. And now that I've kind of created the whole entire thing, there's a couple things that I can make here. First and foremost, we're going to create this from scratch. So I'm actually going to delete this because the order bump takes a little bit of a different flow. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to order form submitted. Now, again, you can do the order submitted if it's a global product, so no matter where this lives, it does that. But I want specific things to happen with the order form purchase, especially when tracking the value. So I'm going to go to order form. I'm going to go to the same thing, funnel page product. So funnel is going to be that particular funnel. My page it's going to be the course page. And my product this time around is going to be my $17 one time, which is going to be the order bump. Now, I don't have to remove it from an actual abandoned cart because that's already happening in the purchase sequence. So they have to always purchase first before they buy the order bump. So I'm not worried about that. So I'm going to remove the abandoned cart. Now, what's cool about this is that I want to track what they did when they purchased the main product. So it's not 47 anymore. It's now going to be 47 plus the 17, which equals 64. So now I'm tracking, the cart is going to move. It's still going to be in the one column, and then it's going to go from there, right? I still need, again, an email with the next steps. So I can keep this and I'll say, click here, open this email to get access to your checklist. Now, again, I'm not going to go through the whole entire email sequence. Yours will be different. So it'll be like a link for them to go ahead and click on, and they can download their link. And I'm going to go ahead and hit save action. And then if it's inside your membership area, you would now grant them the actual, instead of, your main one, if you have it inside your membership area, you would just do this. In this particular case, it's going to be a PDF. So I don't need this. So I'm going to go ahead and delete it. All right. And do I really need to do a check-in email? No, I'm already doing it with the main course, so I wouldn't want to do this. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to delete the check-in email. Come over here, cancel, delete the check-in. Now, another thing that you want to do is probably tag the people that did buy the order form and the actual main purchase. So let me go back and fix that. So I'm going to come over here, and in here, I can just add a contact tag. Nope. Type in contact, add a contact tag, come over here, and it will be email checklist, which actually I think I might have here. Email, boom, hit save action, and it's right here. They get a tag. And again, to make things easy, this will be checklist tag. So then I know exactly what kind of tag is being added. I'm going to go ahead and hit save. I'm going to back out of this, and I'm going to go to number 2. And because I didn't add a tag in here, I'm going to add a tag. So this will be a sign. Oh, not a sign, I'm sorry. Contact. And it's going to be the same thing. The contact tag will be email, ;, course purchase. Add a new tag. Again, let's name that tag. Oh, darn it. Add tag first, then let's name it course purchase. You see how cool it is too? So when you do forget something or you want to add an additional step, all you got to do is go back to the workflow and do it to make it super easy. And then I'm going to come back over here, make sure everything's good. So for my order bump is I assign it to the user, I updated the flow so it gives an updated value. I added another checklist tag, and then I sent an email with giving him access to the particular PDF or whatever it is, usually in a download link, just so then it makes it sure it gets to the inbox. I fixed my order form submission, I'm ready to go. So this is now ready to go. I did say that I wanted to track refunds, right? So how the heck am I going to do that? Well, all I got to do is build a form out. So anytime somebody wants to request a refund, they got to fill out a form. Again, I do that because one, I want to track and I want to automate it. And I want to automate it as much as possible. Now, you can't automate a refund because you still have to process it through Stripe or PayPal. But what you can do is make it an easy automated step. So if you got to give somebody a refund, all you got to do is fill out a form, and then it alerts you with what needs to be done. So what I can do is first, I'm going to go to sites. I'm going to go to my builder. All right. I'm going to see if I have a refund form. I don't know if I do or not. Nope. So I'm going to add a form and I'm going to go to options. I'm going to do refund form. Makes it super easy. All right. First name, last name. Okay. Email, but I'm going to go in there, email that you purchased with. So how am I going to find them, you know? And then I'm not even going to ask for phone. I just kind of really want to communicate by email. And then I'm just going to have, actually, let's create a little custom box. And notice all I've been doing so far is in the standard field. And again, if you missed the forms, kind of in tutorial, that form tutorial is listed up here. So make sure you go into one of our playlists, select the form one. It goes over forms in a really in-depth manner. So it shows you how to create all this. So you're going to come over here and I'm going to do a custom field and I'm going to go reason. Let me just actually again to refund. Let's see if there's anything. Oh, probably best if I. Okay, I don't have anything here. So I'm going to ask multi-test box. I'm going to come over here and refund reason for a refund. Okay. And sometimes what happens, I don't know if you've been watching the previous video, sometimes this doesn't automatically appear, but I'm going to go ahead and save the form. And then in order to get that thing so you can pull it over, I have to refresh the page. Kind of a little bug that they're working through right now, but I'm going to go to custom fields, type in refund again, and now it'll be there. Yeah, boom. All right. And the last thing I'm going to do is just add a quick little button. That's what's so cool about the software. You see how quick this is? Request refund. All right, we're gonna make it in the center and we're gonna make this in the center. Oop, beautiful, look at that. All set, now we got beautiful form, hit save form. But like I said, gotta put it in, I always like to make it a little professional. So what I'll do is go back over here. On the thank you page, I'll just duplicate one of these. So I'm gonna clone the funnel step. It's gonna pop up in the bottom, go to publishing, go to refund page, refund. All right, and then all I would do is come in here, hit edit, remove this right here, fill in the information below, to request a refund. Create a little plus sign, grab a form, little plus sign here, grab a form, and I would just go to the refund form, right? Super easy, there it is, doesn't have to be pretty. Giving somebody a refund, I don't want to be happy about it. And I'm gonna come back over here, and we're gonna go back. And again, this is just to show you the different things you can do. You would create different steps. It'll be pretty easy. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do, this is going to be a start from scratch workflow. So this is going to be EM4. Come over here, EM4 dot refund request. Now, again, you can't process refunds, but you can definitely get as close as possible when it comes to actually somebody getting in a refund and so forth. So I'm going to go ahead and hit form submitted. I got to go to my filter. My form is refund. And again, naming, remember, naming is super important. Refund form. Okay, same thing. I'm going to assign it to a user, myself. Okay, I'm also going to give myself a task. Add a task, refund for customer name, contact full name. All right. And what's cool is reason for refund. I can actually pull in that value that they wrote. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go to contact. Because I created a custom field, I'm going to go to custom field. And then I just got to look for reason. Maybe all the way. It's in alphabetical order at least. And I can pull the reason for the refund and I can assign it to context assign user. Boom. And I can say due in like 3 days. Okay. Now I have myself a task. Now I'm going to send myself a text message too because I'm like, yo, somebody wanted a refund. Let me do that again. Hit the little plus sign, text message, contact full name, requested a refund, and here is the reason. And then custom values. Contact, custom fields. I'm looking for that reason. There you go. And I can send, actually that should be going to me, not the customer. So let's delete that. Darn it, I made a mistake. I want to do internal. Whenever you're sending something to yourself, it's always internal. Send internal, SMS, again, contact, full name, requested a refund for the following custom values, contact, custom fields, reason for refund. Hit save action, select the user, it's going to be the assigned user. And now that internally notifies me, so this is SMS. Okay, so then I know what it is. And then here, I would just send a note to the customer saying we are looking into your refund request. That's it. So again, from name, user, full name, user, email. Thank you for your refund request. And then, again, whatever, contact, first name. We are looking into your request and will contact you. Boom, save action. And this is going to be confirmation. And what's crazy is too, now that somebody requested a refund, we can even update the opportunity. So I want to kind of put that right up at top, right after assign to user. So let me go to opportunity, create an opportunity, come over here, select the pipeline, refund. So I know it's associated with this, contact full name and phone number, and then allow opportunity to move to previous stage. But this time it's going to be lost. All right, because I consider that a loss when you give somebody a refund. It's a lost kind of contact. And there you go, and hit save action. So look at that. You officially made 4 workflows for any kind of purchase. You saw how I made a mistake. I went back and I corrected a few things, and you saw how quick it is. Now, the cool thing of it is once you kind of have this figured out, for one, you saw me also duplicate a couple of workflows. You can do the same thing as you're kind of building through. So hopefully this was helpful. Keep following us along in this series and hope we're getting a lot of value out of it. Leave any kind of comments or questions below that we can help answer, and we'll see you on the next one.